to be godlike.
What is
nobility.
that? Can you chime into that inner nobility? Because I want to further understand for me, but also for all the listeners, inner nobility. What can you explain that concept a little bit more?
The concept is, in the Baha'i writings, there's a prayer, a hidden word is called, which says, I have created thee noble. Why dost thou abase thyself? Right? I have created thee rich. Why dost thou bring thyself down to poverty? And then later on in that quote, it says that God has instilled in us himself. He's in us. So that sense of nobility means we are blank slates, but we have the capacity. We're like a seed. Each of us is noble. We have the ability for greatness. We have the ability to manifest lots of virtues, which you can say are the godlike virtues. Patience, forgiveness, forbearance, the ability to work hard, to seek justice and try to implement justice. These are all noble qualities that we can have. Truthfulness. So we have those abilities. So if we're acting in contrary to those, we're not fulfilling what our true identity is as human beings. And then you might see human beings that you might think are kind of acting lowly. But that's not what each of us has the capacity for. Wow. So that's the sense of nobility that I talk about. We're all given that. Or maybe that refers to, in Christianity, it says God, we're made in the image of God. Right?
And that's something
not in the physical image, but in that spiritual capacity.
Right. No, please go.
Yeah. And so we have to nurture that. So we have to teach our children, you are noble. And I think that will counter a lot of what I hear my kids say, I'm not good enough, or I'm not good. I don't know where they get these from. I think society is telling us we're not good enough. But if you teach kids, each of us has a capacity to be great. At the same time, we have to be humble. I know you don't like that word. Mm-hmm. And I think what that means is our greatness doesn't come from me. It comes from me in the sense that I have to work towards it, but it's a divine. So I need to constantly keep that in mind, that greater allegiance or that greater, when you bow down, it's not to another person, it's to that divine. So you have to keep yourself humble and know that any gifts we're given, any greatness that might be mine, it's not really, really just mine. It really comes from the divine. And that keeps us, I think, from becoming egotistical and power hungry and thinking we're better than others. So it's a fine balance between knowing your nobility, but also knowing that of that nobility, what's the purpose of that nobility? It's to serve other people. So it's not to be self-serving, and that kind of keeps us in check.
I like that a lot, right? Because even when I say that I don't like the word humility, humble, it's actually just more of a fear of it because I fear it. And for the same reasons that you just said,
okay.
I fear that if I promote that or put that energy out, it'll almost put me in a mindset where I'm questioning, am I enough, rather than, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that, and you just brought it out because I never looked at it that way, but it's more so I'm just more fearful of adopting that and it being applied in the wrong case. But you brought up examples where it will teach you, and a lot of us sometimes get humbled just because we ignore that aspect of it, and we think it's just all us. I'm just great just because I'm great, and we get humbled quickly, and we need to, and we need to understand that there is a divine, a divinity that you mentioned, and